Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Maulana Muhammad al-Khatim an-Nabiyyin wa Rasulullahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and peace and blessings on His noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, his entire household, his noble companions. My dear beloved viewers, my message for today is a hadith, a very wonderful hadith, narrated by Muaz bin Jabal radiyallahu anhu. And he says that he said to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, tell me about an action which will enter me into the garden and remove me from the fire. This is what the companion is asking the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam about. He said, tell me about an action which will enter me into the garden, meaning Jannah, and remove me from the fire, which is the fire of hell. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, you have asked a tremendous thing. You have asked a tremendous thing. And it is easy for one who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it easy for. It is that, he started to tell Muaz bin Jabal, he sallallahu alaihi wasallam started to tell Muaz bin Jabal how Allah had made it easy for someone. And he said, the first is that you worship Allah without associating anything with Him. You worship Allah without associating anything with Him. Meaning your confidence in Allah that He is Allah, and there is no deity worthy of worship but Allah alone. And we hold on to this. We hold on to this in our everyday life, in our sleeping, in our waking, in whatever we are doing. And so he says, and this is what he says, that you worship Allah without associating anything with Him. And then he said, establish a prayer. Establish a prayer, my dear fellow, my dear viewers. You establish a prayer, in a community, in your masjid, in your home, that when it's time that you need to give to Allah what He had ordained, what He had asked you or made obligatory for you, it's that you invite those who are with you, those who are believers who are with you, to establish this a pillar of Islam. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, produce zakah. Produce zakah. One of the things that going to make it easier for you to enter into Jannah and far away from Jahannam is one of those very, very important, my dear viewers, is zakah. Zakah, which is also a pillar of Islam. We do not take it lightly. We do not take it lightly, because at the world that we save today, that we think we are hiding from mankind, Allah knows about it. And we will be questioned about it on the day of Qiyamah. If we hold it and do not want to give it, feeling that we would get poor by just giving, my brothers and sisters, we do not know the amount of blessings we are having by just giving. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to give zakah, then give zakah. That is how we believe in our Creator with sincerity, my dear respected viewers. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, fast Ramadan. Fast in the month of Ramadan. Ramadan is super month of Muslims. And I need not tell you the rewards of this holy month. If we check, my dear viewers, we will see that 4 of the 5 pillars of Islam have been fulfilled in this month of Ramadan. And so we fast this month. We fast this month with expectation of pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, showing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we as believers, we are obedient to Him. we are obedient to Him and ready to do whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have commanded us to do, my dear brothers and sisters, my dear viewers. This month of Ramadan is which we need to take a full advantage, my dear viewers. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, and perform Hajj to the house. Perform Hajj to the house, but we know that that is only if we have the means, my dear viewers. And then he sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, shall I not show you the doors of good? Shall I not show you the doors of good? And he sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, fasting is a shield. Fasting is a shield, meaning fasting is a shield from the fires of hell, my dear respected viewers. And he said, and the sadaqah extinguishes error as water extinguishes a fire. You know, sadaqah extinguishes error as water extinguishes fire. And the prayer of a man in the middle of the night, and then he recited from the Quran, I quote, their sides eschew their beds until he reached what it used to do, unquote. And then he sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, shall I not tell you about the head of the matter? Its central pillar and uppermost part of the hump. And I said, Muaz bin Jabal, he said yes, O Messenger of Allah. And then he sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says the head of the matter is Islam. The head of the matter is Islam. And its central pillar is prayer. And the summit of its hump is jihad. And then he sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, shall I not tell you of the foundation of all that? And Muaz bin Jabal, he said yes. He said, yes, Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And so he took hold of his tongue. And he said, restrain this. He said, restrain this. He took hold of his tongue and he said, restrain this. And Muaz bin Jabal, he said, O Prophet of Allah, are we taken to task for what we talk about? And he, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, may my mother be birthed for you. O Muaz, does anything throw people into the fire on their faces? Or he said, on their nostrils, except for the harvest of their tongues. So we need to be careful in this time. Backbiting, slandering, saying what is not right, wanting to look good in the eyes of someone, and so we lie in those sort of things. Let us be careful, my dear brothers and sisters. Fame and power is for this world. Remember, obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what will win us Jannah. And so we need to take good care, my dear brothers and sisters. And I hope that inshallah, once again, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our fast in this month of Ramadan, accept our deeds, and may He grant us all Jannatul Firdaus in the Akhirah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.